COVID-19.
Oh
But
wow.
yes, but was 2 weeks ago. Like she did the test 2 weeks ago, and the result, like the health insurance gave them the test like yesterday. They
Oh
gave
wow.
the result yesterday. So for that reason, we need we knew like all that information yesterday, and we were like, okay, now it's late. We already passed 15 days.
Okay, that's good. So good to hear. So it seems to me that you probably beat out COVID-19 on your own, right?
Yes, I think so. But I just had like a little flu. Like I just had some issues with my throat, but that's all. I didn't have nothing.
All right. Well, that's good to hear. Like because you guys you are on the 20s, like early 20s, and you guys have like a special powers, if you will, because you guys don't get sick that easily. So that I'm really glad that you did it. You did a wonderful job. You just beat up COVID-19 on your own. Really good. So congratulations for that. I just can you please? I'm just waiting for this person. He's gonna be here in a minute. Okay. Wow, and you're like so pretty. Have you been modeling in your life? Do you want to be a model? No, probably not. Or yes, I don't know. But you
I
have the
never
skills.
think about that. I think I never was like, oh my god, my dream, like my life dream, it's to become a model. I never been like that. I never was like that. But yes, I can think about that now. I like that word now, but I don't know how to start. So I think that I'm good in this moment without to doing it.
Wow, what was the reaction from with the New Zealand people, the New Zealand guys, when they saw you in the airport? Probably they went crazy, right? Like looking at you, checking you out.
Yeah, was not was not like that. I think that when I was in New Zealand, I was with a lot of Latin people because I was like in the I was like in a city. The name is Queenstown. I thought that I already told you, and that is like a touristic place. It's like Miami in United States. Is the
Oh
same.
wow.
But yes, I was in the Miami of the United States, but I was like Queenstown. Then the Miami of New Zealand. So for
Oh
that reason, I
wow.
was with a lot of Latin people. I was with a lot of Asian people too, but like was a bit difficult to find someone from New Zealand, like a Kiwi. So it
Okay.
was I had like so much contact with them.
Oh
So
good.
I don't know if they like something.
Okay. So that's good to hear, Maria Paula. So let me introduce you, Kenneth. So we have Kenneth from Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, here with us. So Kenneth, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you?
And then good. So let me introduce you, Maria Paula, and Maria Paula, let me introduce you, Kenneth. So
Perfect.
yes, so here he is for you.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm fine. Thank you so much. And you?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. I don't know if Javier was able to tell you anything about kind of the role we're looking for, or anything about the company. Were you able to, Javier?
No, not yet, but she knows that this is a real estate company. But you can give her the details if that's okay for you.
Yes,
Okay.
perfect.
Yeah. So basically, we're based out of Atlanta, Georgia. We do deals primarily in Atlanta, and what we're looking for right now is a kind of a lead intake specialist, someone that would essentially not be cold calling, but more so talking to sellers that have already, in some form of fashion, said that they want to sell their house, and this position role would be able to. I mean, I think that's you. Is that? I think that's you, man. I'm not gonna hide the mute, but yeah. So this person would be more responsible for basically calling, qualifying, uh, gauging motivation, and then passing that lead off to our acquisition rep. Do you have any experience with real estate so far?
Okay, perfect. So it's just like to be the intermediary, like the one that is catching the information, just the real person that can do the deal and that can give like an approximately of money or how much money we can give to the person. Like we are just catching the information. Like we just see if it's possible, if it's a good idea, if it's rentable for the for the company to
Um,
do that, and
Essentially,
we
what they do um, is they are responsible for talking to the lead. Basically, we have leads that come in through via different marketing forms, whether it's text message, cold call, or or online submission. But they come in and then they're responsible for calling that lead and essentially gathering the information from the lead to see if that lead is a good fit for our system, meaning that they have they meet our four pillars as far as motivation, timeline, the condition, and the price. And if they do, if they meet all four of those, then they pass that on and say, "Hey, this is a good lead," and our acquisition will give them a call to try to either get the contract or set an appointment with them. So, do you have experience calling?
sorry, I don't know. I'm listening something like some noise. Are you asking me if I had some experience on the
You're
call?
saying there's some noise.
Yes, I
Does anybody
noise.
know what that noise is? Because it is loud.
Yes, I don't know. It's like someone is washing the dishes. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Javier, is
Uh,
that coming from you?
Oh no, that's not from me. Or if you want to, we can. Let me just gonna. What about now? Look.
okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's
Thank you.
definitely you, Javier. It's
Yes,
definitely
perfect.
you.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, I thought it was coming from his side, but yeah, but basically, so you might not have heard, but basically, the role is someone that is going to like we have. I guess I'll start over. So we have leads that come in either via text message, they come in via cold callers, they come in via
Okay, perfect.
online marketing, and those people are people that said, "Hey, I want to sell my house," or "I'm interested in receiving an offer." And the position that we're looking to fill is someone that's going to then call that person and say, "Hey, I want to sell my house," and they're going to walk them through a script, and through the script, they'll uncover things like the motivation, the timeline they want to sell in, the condition of the house, and
Mm-hmm.
the price. And then once they get that information, they will be responsible. They can evaluate the deal, either talking it over with myself or our acquisition person to say, hey, look, this person, like we may have a situation like we'll have a person
Okay.
we're working with now that is like, hey, I want to sell the house. It's vacant. I don't want to re-rent it. It's in pretty fair condition. I want this number as far as the price. And then from there, um, they're like they can basically talk to myself with acquisition and say, hey, that person's probably within our price range, or they're not. And then if they're within it, like, hey, well, look, I want to at least get you over to our acquisitions or our underwriting team, and then they'll get you a cash offer or an offer on the property to see if we're a good fit. And so basically, this role is to vet the people to say, hey, I want to sell, because there'll be some people to say, hey, yeah, I want to sell my house, but I only want to sell it for 4 times what it's worth. And then those people aren't really leads because they don't really want to sell. So we would then put them on like a long-term follow-up. But the people that are ready to sell within maybe the next 60 or 90 days. Sorry, is it loud on my end now? Because they're like doing the yard workout.
Yes,
Can
no,
you hear that?
perfect. Okay. Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Like, I remember that because I had like the capacitation and everything, like how everything works. But the last time that I talked with someone about this, like they told us that we need to transfer directly the call. That we gather all the information, like all the script information, and with that we can just transfer it to like the person like that is going to make the deal and give the offer. In this moment is like that. We are going to transfer like the calls, or we are just going to like tell them, we are going to call you back, or the correct
Um,
person like
well,
that
it
is going
will
to give you
vary
the.
depending on if the other agent, if the acquisition agent is available. If he's available to take the call, then the reason you want to do that is because what happens if you have somebody that's hot and they're ready to sell, and they're ready to move forward, and you don't transfer the call, then you may spend the next 2 weeks trying to get them on the phone because they won't
Okay.
answer for whatever reason. So that's why, hot leads, we will try to transfer, like, hey, hold on, let me see if Sam's available, and if Sam's available, then we go ahead and transfer it over because he can just handle it right on the spot, and then you're not trying to play phone tag with the seller because a lot of times, a lot of these sellers are maybe not they procrastinate a lot, and so then you will go literally. I mean, you'll be calling them for the next 2 weeks before they pick the phone back up, and in that time, they may end up getting a higher offer or decide they want to do something else. Whereas if you strike while the iron's hot, then you can go ahead and get the contract and get the deal moved. So that's kind of, we do that on the hot deals that they're like, hey, yeah, I'm ready to sell. Like, awesome. I think I want to talk to our underwriting, and we would have in the script and training how to efficiently do that. But yeah, but that is part of the role, is to identify, like, hey, yeah, this person is ready to go. Like, I think you guys might want to speak to them. They're a hot lead, versus this person wants to not sell for the next 90 days. They're not necessarily, I can just set an appointment for them because they're not going to commit to anything right now. If we have somebody that is willing to commit right now and they're within a price range we can make money, then yeah, we like to go ahead and get those people moved over. So you said you had done this before. You called sellers before.
Yes, I used to work in a different call center. Was a different type. Like I was just in customer service. I used to be like an agent in a company that is LiveScan. I don't know if you know it. It's like more medical
Oh,
support,
yeah.
and it's we. I used to like give replacements, customer service, like help people to know how to use like glucometers, like
Okay.
glucose meters for
Yeah. Yeah.
diabetic people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well,
I used to do that. I used to work in that call center. I worked there around like 8 months. And yes, I think that that is all my experience in call center. In customer service, I had a bit more.
okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So right now, like, I know I have a couple interviews with Javier, and then I also have another interview with another agency. Do you have like any questions for me on the role? I mean, you seem like a nice person, good personality, so that's all. That's definitely helpful because I say the most important things in this role, but the most important characteristics are consistency, meaning that you show up like every day, you make the calls. Empathy, being able to empathize with sellers, because most of the times our sellers that are willing to sell for us at a price that we can make money have some form of distress, whether it's financial distress or a property that needs a lot of repairs or somebody died in the family. They have emotional things going on. So being able to be empathetic, it goes a long way because the sellers can feel that and they can trust you and feel that you're have their best interest in mind. Um, and then also being able to be like a fast learner and pick up on different traits from different sellers is important as well.
Okay. Yes, because I can tell you that I can do that because like my campaign, the one that I used to be, I used to like I used to talk with people like with old people most of the time. Or
Mm.
like so I used to have I used to yeah like try to just understand more the person, like if they cannot in that moment just let it pass and just try to talk and try to help them, like or try to tell them like something that is going to make them feel comfortable with me. That is like the important thing, that we can communicate us and that we can do something for both sides so we
Yeah,
can work together. So I think that yes, I try to be all the time kind with the people
yeah,
that I'm talking
that's
to.
important. Like the being kind and empathetic is huge. So yeah, I mean, I truly appreciate you taking the time out to chat with us. I know Javier has, I think, one or two more people lined up, and I have another one that I think I have to do at like 3:30 or something like that. But I definitely appreciate it. I think that you definitely have the personality that's good. So I appreciate you taking the time to speak with us.
No, thank you
Definitely.
so much to you because I was a bit late. I'm sorry for that. It's not going to happen again. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Maria Paula. So I talk to you later, okay, in about like few minutes. But you did it wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much to you. Bye
take
bye.
care.
Thank you.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye. Hello, Kenneth. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so that's one. And let me just gonna get the Daniel. She was living in New Zealand, which is
Uh-huh.
kind of well, New Zealand, the country, which has a lot of similarities with the US. So she just came back from New Zealand. She didn't mention that, but yeah, she was.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, okay, great. So he's gonna be here in 1 minute, Daniel.
Okay.
So Daniel is he has experience. He's been working. We just been working in with Daniel in Texas, in California, in Florida. He does cold calling for real estate as well, just getting
Okay.
leads. Okay, so he's gonna be in here in about 1 minute.
Okay.
So yeah, the so if you okay, we have Daniel right here. Hello, Daniel. Can you see me?
I hear you.
Okay, really good. Daniel, let me introduce you Kenneth. Okay, Kenneth, he's from Atlanta, Georgia, and he's in real estate as well. So I just want you to meet him. And Kenneth, let me introduce you Daniel. Okay, he has experience, so here he is for you.
All right. Awesome. Nice to meet you, Daniel.
Nice to meet you, Kenneth.
Hey, so I guess if you could, 'cause Javier was telling me you have some experience. If you could kind of tell me a little bit about your experience with real estate and cold calling, kind of what your thoughts are on it. What are some of the obstacles that you run into, and things that yeah, basically just some obstacles, like things that you think are getting in the way, and how you handle them.
Okay. Well, I don't see like any obstacles really when I call customers. They I mean sometimes it's the opportunity to rebuttal when they are not. I see them like they're kind of interested. They want to hear an offer, so that's when I jump in until when if they're not sure, just let's do something. Let me just transfer you to my manager real quick. He's gonna make you an offer if you want. Just hear it. There's not. I mean, there's no commitment. You hear it and you say yes or no. That's it. And 50% of the time, the customers say, "Okay, yeah, let me hear the offer." But I don't really see like any obstacles on these calls.
Okay, so when you're making the calls, you you're cold calling, right?
Yeah.
So you don't do you run into like a lot of rude people, or like how's that work? Because I know.
Honestly, no. Honestly, no. There's sometimes some people that just right away tells you I'm not interested in selling, even before I give my introductions, because I'm guessing they get a lot of calls from other company as well,
Okay, so
but they're never rude.
how do you like the cold calling?
I like it. I mean, it's great.
Okay, okay. Yeah, and so I guess tell me a little bit about like what's your role in the cold call? Like what type of information are you responsible for gathering?
At the moment, I'm making transfers to my manager, so I'm not like asking all the questions I used to do before, like about the property, because Javier told us that as soon as I get an interested caller, I just right away swap him and transfer the call to the manager.
Gotcha,
I'm
gotcha.
just. Mhm.
So you just go through, see if they're interested in an offer. If they're interested, then you just go ahead and send them over so that somebody can take the next step, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And before you were gathering and getting like more details on the property.
Yes. How many floor bathrooms? How many bedrooms? If they had made any changes recently and things like that.
Okay,
How much?
okay,
How much do they want? How much are they asking? They have any? They owe any money on the property? Things like that.
Okay. So you would got you. Yeah. So like a little bit about the role that I'm looking for is it's not necessarily um a cold calling role. It's more of a basically talking, being that next step from when a cold call gets transferred, or a text message lead, or a website lead, where we're calling and we're essentially going through and getting like the four pillars from the person, trying to see what their uh, timeline, motivation, price, and condition of the property are, and then from there, if it's something that is qualified or something that meets, they have the proper levels of motivation, they have a timeline that's within like 90 days, then we're getting them over to the acquisition, whether they can get a cash offer. So yeah, it's very similar probably to what you were more so doing before. Uh, and one of the big things that I found that can be an obstacle is if the reps aren't actively listening, meaning that when the sellers are talking, they're more focused on the script than rather what the seller is saying. Um, so is that like kind of the only the experience you have is just with the cold calling, and how long have you been doing that?
About 2 months now.
Okay, you've been doing it about 2 months. What were you doing before?
I was not doing nothing.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me on anything?
Not right now. No.
Okay. Well, man, well, I definitely appreciate your time, and you jumping on the call.
Okay. Thank you as well for your time.
Okay.
Thank you. I do appreciate it, Daniel. You did a wonderful job. So I talk to you later in a few minutes, but you did a wonderful job, and thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you very much, Peter.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Appreciate it. Thanks, bye. Okay, good, Kenneth. So that is Daniel. He sounds like really confident on the phone. He has experience. He didn't mention, but yeah, before he was working in this call calling, he was working with another call center using the English that he has. I think it was customer service, but he has experience in customer service.
Now, yeah, he speaks good English, but I probably would not work with Daniel because um, he's very short and he doesn't.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
doesn't like to go on and on and on. He's just like to the point
yeah,
always.
and
Yeah,
that wouldn't work well. Sometimes we have to be on the phone with our sellers for a while, and we have to be empathetic. And to cold call for 2 months and have no obstacles is just not realistic. Um,
yeah.
because I mean, I've cold called, and I understand there's definitely obstacles. But
Yeah, he just optimistic. He hasn't get too up down because somebody says something rude to him. So
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
that's good and bad. I think it's good for cold calling that you're just like, hey, all right, cool, on to the next person, no big deal. But
exactly.
for this role in particular, it may that shortness would be an issue,
Yeah,
because you wouldn't actively listen to the sellers because you're just no big deal. Like, so it needs to be like this role is kind of someone that likes
yeah,
to talk a lot. Whereas cold calling, absolutely, I can understand. Hey, you want an offer? Okay, great. Let me pass you on. If you don't, cool. I'll go to the next person. Which I may, because he has good English and he sounds local.
he does.
That may be a opportunity where I may, instead of like if I find a different lead intake person, I may try to work and see how he does cold calling for me. But not I wouldn't be able to work with him in the lead intake role just because it requires a different personality set.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let me do this other one. I think those are just the two people that I wanted to chat with, right? I think the other person um isn't available till the first.
Well, the other person will be available shortly. In
Well, no, no.
about like
I
14
know
minutes.
you put Angie in there. I wasn't really interested in speaking with her. Um, but I know you had the other Maria lady that was going to be available on the 1st of July from our
Oh
email.
yeah, Maria Alejandra. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll check back and chat with her probably during that time around next week or something. But yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at now. Like Angie, I don't really need to speak with her. No offense, but yeah, I don't think she'd be a good fit from what I heard. Um, but yeah, man, I appreciate your time, and as you get more and more people, and definitely hit me up, and yeah, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. More than welcome, Kenneth. For me, it's been an honor be talking to you. And sir, are you interested about Maria Paula?
Um, well, I have another interview with somebody that has a little bit more experience, and so like I think that she's good as far as personality, but I think experience would be if I have, but that may be like where I have to go through and do more training. Um, and so I haven't ruled her out, but I do have an interview with somebody that I know has a little bit more experience, and so if they interview well, then they'll probably get the position.
And I can have you another one. He's called Nicholas. He has a lot of experience. He's been working in real estate for about like probably 4 years now. So the guy knows a lot, and he will be available for you. Do you have time today for an interview in about like 30
Uh,
minutes if you want to?
do me a favor and just shoot me over like some sample calls from them, and then I can kind of take it from there.
Okay, so I'm gonna send you some audios of this guy in action, and then, but yeah, that guy, he talks a lot.
Okay,
So you might probably like it. So I'm gonna send you that audio, and if you want to, in the middle time, you can just check out if you have anything, or you might like to work with Maria Paula or Daniel, so I can have them ready for you as well.
awesome, man. Appreciate it.
More than welcome, Kenneth. So I'll be right here. Do you have my phone? You can call me at any time. My cell phone.
Okay,
I have
got
a
you.
local number.
I got it. Yep.
Okay, thank you. So I'll be here. If anything, please send me an email or just give me a call, and I'll be right here for you.
All right. Thanks, bud. Take care.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.